Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. And today we have a very special Glenfiddich here on my cask. It's a small batch reserve, 18 years old, 40% ABV. It appeared in late 2014, and it's a limited edition. This Glenfiddich is 18 years old and compares to the regular 18-year-old Glenfiddich, which I think I already tasted here. I tasted so many whiskies already, I'm not quite sure if I had that. And well, this one carries the addition small batch reserve. The typical 18-year-old is a huge volume of whiskey going out into the world, and it's mixed from Oloroso and ex-bourbon casks. And this 18-year-old as well. What's the difference between those two? Well, this one was, the casks were specially selected by Brian Kinsman, the malt master. Yeah, malt master, I think, of Glenfiddich. And he selected 150 special casks. Then he divided those casks in matching smaller portions and filled them in marrying vats. What's that? Well, if you produce a blended whiskey like the Grant's Finest, then you add all the malts and the grain whiskies into a huge vat, and then you let them marry together, that there are, well, the result is a homogeneous or more homogeneous aroma, and a more complex and depth aroma. So, and he divided those casks into several small batches, and let them rest for another 3 months in those marrying vats. And now there's several smaller, I don't know how many, bottlings of this whiskey, so that when you're tasting this bottle at home, then you might have a slightly different taste than I have here, because I might have a different batch. What's written here on the box? Well, the box is rectangular shaped, which is different to the typical 18-year-old. And the bottle is slightly lower but thicker, so it looks more impressive. Carefully matured for 18 years in the finest Oloroso sherry and bourbon cask, built by our own expert coopers. I'm afraid ex-bourbon casks are built in America, in the US, and coming over, and the Spanish sherry casks are built in Spain. And then they come over, and then they are, well, refitted, refurbished, looked for leaks, and so on, looking for, how are they called, those iron rings, steel rings, that they fit perfectly. So this is what the coopers in Scotland do in the moment. These casks are then nurtured in small batches for a further 3 months for a remarkably depth, rich and complex flavor. After our whiskey has spent 18 years patiently maturing in the finest, Brian Kinsman, our pioneering malt master, personally hand selects just 150 exceptional casks, marrying these remarkably small batches together in large wooden tuns. Nurtured for a further 3 months, each of these individual numbered batches adds an unrivaled and award-winning richness, complexity and depth. Is the perfect example of our signature style, one that's made us the world's most awarded single malt, rich baked apple and cinnamon spice, complemented by robust oak notes that have deepened and mellowed over time. Well, Glenfiddich is one of the very few privately owned companies. Well, they have a revenue of over $1 billion Great Britain pounds, but they are still family owned, and this brings or enables the distillery to Well, to look further ahead, because there is no stock exchange asking for regular dividends, and Glenfiddich is still able to deliver 30 and 40-year-old single malt whiskies, which other distilleries can't. So they looked ahead in former times for these whiskies. Well, they increased in price very much because the demand from Asia, from the US, was very, very high, but they are still able to deliver. And they have the typical 12-year-old, which is the mass product in tens of millions of bottles per year. Then the 15-year-old, which has a Solera type of bottling and maturing, or marrying is the better word for that. The 18-year-old, the normal 18-year-old, and now this 18-year-old as small batch reserve. Then there are special 14-year-old and the malt master distiller versions, several different batches. So if you like Glenfiddich, have a look for those bottles. They are not that rare, but I think they will just stay on the market in 2015. Probably not for the holiday season. 150 cask is not much for Glenfiddich. Full and rich, deep. The fruitiness is there, the apple, the baked apple. Yes, and the cinnamon is there. I like cinnamon very much. And dark fruits from the sherry. The cinnamon. If you stay a little away from the glass, then the cinnamon taste is a lot stronger. If you're coming too close, then the apple takes over. Wonderful. So full, mature, really 18 years old. Oloroso sherry casks and American ex-bourbon cask. Wonderful mixture. Mouth-coating, mouth-watering, delicious spices coming up. The oakiness is coming up. No bitterness at all. It's just wooden spiciness. Long aftertaste. Medium to strong taste at all. And I'm afraid 3 points ABV more would have been favorable. So a little bit more power from the alcohol would drive more aromas in your mouth. Wonderful. A wonderful whiskey. Far too good. So dangerously good, because it's so well sipping, wonderful in your mouth, demanding for more. So be careful with this bottle. It's one of the really exceptional Glenfiddichs. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come, and feel free to give your comments of or to this bottle in our whiskey database on Whisky.com.